Welcome to Allenberry Reports TV. I'm your host, Allenberry Labucan from allenberryreports.com. Today we have a new installment of our In the News show. This is the show where we talk about resource companies with recent developments. On today's show we have three companies to talk about. One of those companies is a new producer. Another is in the late stage development and moving towards producer status, and then we have another that has the potential of doing that in the near term as well. Third company is involved with high-grade gold and silver, so it's a good combination. We'll be opening the show with an opening commentary talking about the proposed merger between the Toronto and London stock exchanges and why we feel that this is important for resource stocks. And before getting started, we always like to send out some thank you messages to those that are important in us being able to do these shows. First of all, we use youtube.com is the website that we use to produce and broadcast these shows. It's a great website for anybody that's interested in doing online shows, and we highly recommend them. If you're watching the show on our website at allenberryreports.com, you'll notice to the left and right of me that we have banners. Those banner sponsors are really important in us being able to bring these shows to you. If you'd like to do some homework on those companies, just click on their banner and we have them direct link to the company's websites. On the various companies' websites, they have plenty of information about their projects, the people involved with the company, their news. Really great places for you to start your homework on those companies, and we invite you to check them out. And of course, to you, the viewers, you give us an audience to talk to about resource stocks and commodities, and we really appreciate you tuning in, so thank you very much. Okay, so just got to move some stuff around on my screen here. During our show yesterday, we opened with a commentary on the proposed merger of the Toronto and London stock exchanges, and some of the things that stood out and why we're impressed with one of the things that is impressive is the management of the two exchanges. They realized the potential of merging these two groups or exchanges, and especially because it will make them a key player in the global mining stock markets, and with a wide range of resource companies from exploration through to major mining company and oil producers as well. And that really will cover from, you know, a lot of listings on the Canadian exchanges in Toronto, and also there's a very good group of companies involved in resource companies trading on the London and the AIM markets as well. So it'll give a very wide range of companies for investors, global investors, to look at and consider for investment purposes. One of the key things that it'll bring is improved trading activity for many of the companies on these exchanges. This is very important for the resource stock sector because more trading activity can tend to bring less volatility and better funding as well. And those are two really important issues for smaller resource companies. And for the group of companies that we follow, which are mainly explorers, new producers, and middle-tier producers that tend to be not as well followed by brokerage house analysts or institutional investors, and they are what we would call underfollowed. By being underfollowed by the larger investors worldwide, they can tend to have less realistic valuations or appropriate funding, and it looks like the proposed merger will help on these issues. Explorers and development companies are very important for the long-term health of the supply chains of many commodities, and to function properly, they need to be well funded, and this merger should help in that regard. It is getting more challenging all the time to find new projects to add to our radar screen. It's very surprising to see the record prices on several commodities, yet the supply chains are still very poorly prepared to meet future demand from developed and emerging economies. We look forward to better valuations for resource companies and improved funding so that explorers and new development companies can go out and do their jobs of finding new deposits and moving them toward production. In future shows, we're going to continue talking about how difficult it is getting to find new projects to add to our radar screen, talk about on our shows. We have a very extensive list already, our radar screen of companies that we've featured in our reports, talked about on past shows. So it's not that we don't have a good group of companies to follow and talk about, because we do. These companies, many of these companies have really great projects. They're getting good valuations and they're getting good funding. It's the effort to try and bring new companies to add to our radar screen, to potentially talk about in our email newsletter or talk about on the shows, that's getting more challenging. And so this again, better funding, better valuation should help in that regard. And fundamentally, these are key reasons why we're so bullish for several commodities. If the supply chains, current and long term, are in poor condition, and you have strong demand coming from emerging and developing economies, this is very bullish for the price of those commodities that suffer from weakened supply chains. And so we see these things as very bullish. This merger of the Toronto and London Stock Exchange, if it goes through, will be a shot in the arm for many resource stocks, as it will increase their trading activity and improve their funding options, and we'll be happy to see this take place. And so before I get into that was the main things we wanted to talk about on our opening commentary. Before getting started with our In the News, I wanted to mention to viewers that I'm scheduled to be on BNN Business News Network for a television interview tomorrow, which is Friday, February the 11th. And it'll be at 12:15 Pacific Standard Time. It'll be their business day program, and I really hope you can tune in to watch. Later on, I'll talk about subscribing to our email newsletter, and we'll be sending out a message to our subscribers to let them know the details of this this TV interview tomorrow. So now we'll move on to our In the News show. The first company we're going to talk about today is Extore Gold Mines Limited. On the disclosure, we're not shareholders of the company. They are a banner sponsor. And as I mentioned earlier, if you want to do some homework on the company, you can either check out their website that I'll mention soon, or you can just go and look for their banner on our website. Click on that. It's direct link to their website where you can find plenty of information. Our past coverage, they're one of the featured companies in our Alan Berry Reports email newsletter. We started coverage of them on April the 8th, 2010, which was our 28th edition. We've also talked about them on past shows as well. We talked about them on the April 21st. If you want to find that email newsletter, the 28th edition, just look above me on the website. You'll see a report section. In there we have all of our past reports, including that 28th edition. You can either read it online or print it off in a Word file and read at your leisure. Okay, so the past shows, are April 21st, 2010, August the 10th, September the 9th, October the 28th, and December 16th. Again, all of those are in 2010. If you look above me at the shows section, we have all of our past shows in there with the dates, an overview of the show, and a link so you can go watch it. Make it really easy for you to find all the past shows, and where you can find all those shows that we talked about Extorion. Extori's website is extorre.com. Nice and easy one for you to look for. We're going to talk about two of their news releases, one on January 24th, 2011, and the other one is on February the 7th, 2011. So I'm just going to pull up their website now. And on their website, they have a section called Company News, and we're looking for the news from 2011. They just pull it up there. So the January 24th press release, just getting it up on the screen now. The headline from that January 24th press release is Cerro Moro infill drilling for pre-feasibility study completed. Drilling now focused entirely on new veins and extensions. They go on that they were pleased to report high gold, silver grades from the final assay batch of the infill drilling program at their 100% owned Cerro Moro project in Santa Cruz Province, Argentina. The purpose of the infill drilling at the Gabriela and Loma Escondida vein zones was primarily to upgrade inferred category resources to the indicated category. Only indicated resources will be included in the Cerro Moro pre-feasibility study, which is due for completion in the second quarter of 2011. They mentioned that of the 46 holes completed, 24 returned significant results, including the following exceptional intercepts. From the Gabriela vein, one of the highlight holes was MD 1066, which intersected 4.8 meters at 12.4 grams per ton gold and 1,603 grams per ton silver, which works out to 39 grams per ton gold equivalent. Including they had a really high grade sub-interval in there as well. You can find that on the press release. Then they had a couple holes from their Loma Escondida vein. MD 1073 intersected 2.63 grams per ton, 2.63 meters at 14.8 grams per ton gold and 1,208 grams per ton silver. Then MD 1087 intersected 0.77 meters at 105 grams per ton gold and 1,592 grams per ton silver. Then in the press release, there's a good quote from Eric Roth, who's Extori's president and CEO, who stated, and I quote, "The infill drill program has been successful in confirming continuity of high-grade gold-silver mineralization in both the Loma Escondida and Gabriela vein zones. These veins are very important as they will potentially provide high-grade open-pit ore to the Cerro Moro plant in the early production years. It is noteworthy that this batch of results includes the highest silver-gold grades obtained to date from the Gabriela vein. The completion of the infill drilling allows us to focus the 4 rigs on establishing the upside of the extensive Cerro Moro vein system. We expect to drill 5,000 meters per month through 2011, allowing us to test many targets that have had little or no drilling to date." End quote. Then in the press release, they also include the table with all the various different drill holes, including those highlight holes that they talk about earlier in the press release. And they give you some, there's a long section, a map with the long sections and drill hole plan map as well, which will give you an idea of what they're doing with their drilling and how things are looking at depth. So that's the key information from that press release. Now we're going to move on to the February 7th press release. And the headline from that press release is Extori extends high-grade gold-silver zones at Cerro Moro. They go on that they are pleased to report that Discovery Drilling continues to extend gold-silver mineralization at their 100% owned Cerro Moro project in Santa Cruz Province, Argentina. The latest drilling has returned high-grade to bonanza-grade intersections from the Esperanza, Gabriela, and Martina veins. And then they have some highlight holes. One of the holes from Esperanza was MD1126, which intersected 1.9 meters at 12.2 grams per ton gold, plus 1,079 grams per ton silver. And they're from their Martina vein. MD1127 intersected 0.85 meter at 310 grams per ton gold and 5,295 grams per ton silver. At their Gabriela vein, which is the hole MD1052, intersected 4.46 meters at 10.3 grams per ton gold and 1,440 grams per ton silver. These are not isolated holes. You can look through all their various different drill holes and you find these high-grade gold and silver intersections. But as they mentioned there, they've got some of the big bonanza grades as well. Then they have a quote from Eric Roth, Extory's president and CEO, stated the company continues to advance the Cerro Moro pre-feasibility study, anticipating delivery by June 2011. Concurrently, we have initiated a 100,000 meter discovery drilling program to expand the high-grade resources. With 4 rigs operating on a 24-hour-a-day basis, the contractors are exceeding 5,000 meters of drilling per month, end quote. So they've got a lot of work they're doing there, very aggressively drilling. The kind of results that they're getting are definitely warrant that kind of drilling, and that's what keeps them so busy. So that's all the key information from the press release. Just got to move a couple things around here. Some of the reasons that we like the company is they're gold and silver focused company. Got a very bullish outlook on both gold and silver based on long-term supply and demand trends. Their key project is their Cerro Moro project. It's in Argentina, and it's in a mining-friendly province in Argentina. Cerro Moro is a high-grade gold and silver discovery that is close to surface, and that benefits them not only because the rock is very valuable on the metals contained on a per ton basis, but it is a very good combination because when you get high grade close to surface, it keeps your capital costs of developing down and also your operating costs down once you start producing. And so that's a very strong combination, and they're rapidly moving the project towards production. They're well funded, they've got plenty of work going on, and they'll have a solid flow of news. And so as I mentioned earlier, great place to start your homework is on the company's website. That's extory.com, EXTORRE.com. Again, if you're watching the show on our website, they're one of the banner sponsors, so you can just click on their banner. It's direct link to their website where you can continue to do your homework on Extory. So now we're going to move into the second company today, which is Lakeshore Gold Corp. On the disclosure, we're not shareholders. On the past coverage, we started coverage of them in our Allen Berry Reports email newsletter on the June 15th, 2009, which was our 24th edition. If you look above me at the reports section, in there again we've got all of our past reports. You can find that 24th edition to either read it online or download it in a Word file for you to print off and read at your leisure. We've had them on several of our past shows. On August the 5th, 2010, August 25th, September 16th, October 13th, November 18th, December 8th. Those are all in 2010. Then we had them on the January 20th, 2011 show as well. Again, if you're watching online on our website at allenberryreports.com, just look above me at the shows section. In the shows section, we have all of our past shows and where you can find all those shows where we talked about Lakeshore. Their website is lsgold.com, and we're looking for, they had 2 news releases on January 25th that we're going to talk about. So I'm just pulling up their website right now. On their website, they have a section called Investor Relations, press releases. And we're looking for the 2 on in 2011, so you can key on the 2011 press releases. The first, let's see, which one will we go through first? We'll go through the January 25th press release. The headline from that one is Lakeshore Gold confirms broad mineralized envelope with high-grade sections around 730 level at Thunder Creek. In fact, the Thunder Creek project is was the key. We had been following Lakeshore for quite a while, and then their drilling from their Thunder Creek, I guess about a year and a half ago, really got us excited and why we added them to the report. And so this is follow-up drilling on the Thunder Creek project. The excuse me, some of the headlines from the news release subheadlines: drilling from face of access drift confirms presence of broad mineralized envelope containing high-grade drill intercepts within the porphyry and rusk zones. One of the holes had an intersection of 26.25 grams per ton gold over 28.9 meters. And another hole had an intersection of 12.11 grams per ton gold over 35.2 meters. Very good grades and very good intersections. Nice combination there. They go on that drilling from the new access cutout intersects wide high-grade mineralization near west edge of rusk zone. That one of the holes intersected 8.6 grams per ton gold over 29.7 meters. They go on that Lakeshore announced results from 6 new holes totaling 1,233 meters of underground drilling from the 730 level at Thunder Creek. The new holes were drilled from the face of the access drift developed from the Timmins mine on the 650 level, as well as a cutout in the access drift located approximately 300 meters northeast of the Thunder Creek deposit, which includes the rusk and porphyry zones. The purpose of the diamond drill was to confirm the shape and grade of the mineralization as identified by previous drilling in support of exploration development within the zones. The exploration development will include strike drifts and crosscuts for the purpose of mapping, sampling, and metallurgical testing to characterize the mineralization. Then they give you some details about the 5 holes that they're reporting. I'm not going to go over those again because they were previous in the news release with those high-grade intersections that I mentioned. There's a quote from Tony McCooch, who's the president and CEO of Lakeshore, who commented, and I quote, "Today's results are the latest drill holes from the planned 2011 underground drill program at Thunder Creek. The program is aimed at characterizing and expanding the shapes of mineralization both within the porphyry and rusk zones as we work towards establishing an initial National Instrument 43-101 resource by the second half of the year. These results demonstrate that in addition to potential for large-scale, low-grade bulk mining, there exist multiple areas of thick, high-grade mineralization with the broader porphyry and rusk zones." End quote. Then they have some more details about the exploration, about Lakeshore Gold. So they give you a good synopsis there of key things about the company. They've got the table with all the various different drill holes, and that can all be found on their on their website. So now I'm going to go back on their website and look for the second press release from January 25th, 2011. On that one, the headline is Lakeshore Gold to nearly triple gold production in 2011, significantly grow resources, and increase exploration spending. Then they have a group of high bullet points that include company targeting 140,000 ounces of gold mined from all sources in 2011, including commercial production at Timmins Mine and material from advanced exploration programs at Thunder Creek and Bell Creek. Mill production expected to total 125,000 ounces, with additional 35,000 ounces expected in inventory stockpiles at year end. Operating cash costs at Timmins estimated at US $575 per ounce in the first year of commercial production. Cash costs from all sources to improve to approximately US $400 per ounce over the next 3 years. Capital expenditures in 2011 estimated at $75 million. 31 million exploration program planned with continued focus on expanding resources and new discoveries in Timmins. Resource to grow significantly with initial resource from Thunder Creek during second half of 2011, plus updated resources for Gold River Trend, Timmins Mine, and Bell Creek by early 2012. Engineering studies initiated for staged expansion of the Bell Creek Mill to between 3,500 and 5,500 tons per day, with new mill also being planned for the west side of Timmins. And then they have a bunch of details about their plans. So there's a good quote from Tony McCooch, little time constraints, so I'm not going to go into that quote. You can find all of those details in the press release on their website, and you'd look for the two on January 25th. So I'm just going to pull up, closing down that website. As always, we like to close talking about each individual with some of the key reasons that we follow the company. We like that they're a gold-focused company. Their main projects are in Timmins, Ontario, which is a mining-friendly region with a long history of mining. They're a new mining company, so they're now that they're in production. We talked about that the last time we talked about them on the show. They're also very busy on the exploration projects, as they mentioned in that January 25th news release. They have a strong portfolio of projects from exploration to production. They're well financed, and they're doing a lot of work, as they mentioned, on their exploration and production fronts. And so they'll have a lot of news to talk about in the future, and we expect to be talking about them in future shows. Again, a great place to start out your homework is on their website. That's lsgold.com, and as always, we highly recommend our viewers and readers of our reports to do their homework. Website's a great place to start that. So now we'll move on to our third company today. The third company we're going to talk about is Osisko Mining Corp. On the disclosure, we're not shareholders of the company. Our past coverage includes they're one of the featured companies in our Allen Berry Reports email newsletter. We started coverage of them on December the 18th, 2008, which was our 21st edition. If you look above me at the reports section, you'll find that 21st edition, and you can read it online or print it off in a Word file. We've had them on several past shows as well. On April the 15th, 2010, these are all in 2010. April 15th, July the 20th, August the 18th, September the 22nd, October the 14th, November the 23rd, and December the 22nd. Again, all in 2010. If you look above me on our website at allenberryreports.com, you'll notice that we have a shows section. In that shows section, you'll find all of those past shows. Their website is osisko.com. The news that we want to talk about is from their January 25th press release, and I'm just bringing their website up now. On their website, they have a investor relations section, and in the investor relations section is where you can find their press archives. In the press archives, as I mentioned, We're looking for the January 25th press release, and the headline, just bringing this up. She's giving me a little bit of problems here. I think they also have it on their home, on the front page of their home as well. Where is it? This happens every once in a while. Having a little bit of difficulties here with the pulling things up. Just bear with me a moment. I think there we go. Okay, so the headline from the January 25th press release is OSISCO reports significant new intersections at the Barnett extension, including 3.19 grams per ton gold over 142 meters. They go on that they're pleased to announce additional results from the 2010 definition drill program on the Barnett extension located on OSISCO's 100% domed Canadian Malartic gold property within and immediately to the east end of the current engineered pit of the Canadian Malartic and Barnett deposits. The 115-hole, 25,000-meter definition drilling program was executed along 25-meter spaced sections and was completed in the fall of 2010. Results from for the 36 new holes, mainly from Barnett Extension program, are presented below. One of the highlights, as they mentioned earlier, is that thick intersection of 3.19 grams per ton gold. Then they have a table with all the various different drill results. This south of Barnett is a very impressive part of their overall Malartic deposit, and you can find plenty of details about that in that press release. And then on January 26th, they had a news release out, or press release out as well. On that one, the headline is OSISCO and Clifton Star report new results from Desparquet, including 60 meters averaging 2.18 grams per ton gold. They mentioned that they announced results from 49 new holes from the completed 2010 drill program at the Desparquet project located in the Abitibi region of Quebec. Significant wide intersections from the new holes on the Doncaster property include that 60-meter intersection they mentioned earlier. They had another one with 46.5 meters, averaging 1.19 grams per ton gold. Then they have a table with all the various different drill holes, some details about the exploration at the Desparquet, which is a part of the Clifton Star and OSISCO joint venture project. Again, you can find that on the press release. So that was all the key information we wanted to talk about from those two press releases. The key reasons that we follow OSISCO, and they are one of our favorite companies, is they're a gold focused company. Their key projects are in Quebec and Ontario, which are two mining-friendly jurisdictions. Their cornerstone project is their Malartic project in Quebec, which is quickly approaching becoming a new gold mine. In the next few months, they'll be transitioning into producer status at the Malartic, from the Malartic project. When they begin production, they'll be producing around 600,000 ounces annually. That kind of production from a newly minted gold producer is very impressive. Another impressive part is that they'll be a low-cost producer. Just trying to find where I am in my notes here. They have a strong pipeline of projects from exploration to near-term production. They have an impressive growth profile that has the realistic potential of having them become one of Canada's large-scale gold producers in the future. It's been impressive to watch them grow from an exploration company that made an important discovery, then and is now developing that discovery into a future producer. That doesn't happen very often in the mining sector. Usually juniors are bought out, especially when the cost of bringing a mine into production are in the $1 billion range. That's usually something that a major mining company has to bite off in order to bring into production. But in the case of Osisko, they've been able to do it and go the whole route all on their own, which is, that's something that other major mining many of the major mining companies that are well-known names now started out from humble beginnings of making an important discovery and then bringing that into production, and now Osisko is heading in that direction as well. And so that's very encouraging. I always like to see when teams that roll up their sleeves and work hard are able to reach a milestone such as that. And to the Osisko folks, they've really done a wonderful job. If you want to do some homework on the company, again, great place to start out. That homework is on their website at osisko.com. That's osisko.com, and you can find plenty of information about their various projects, including their cornerstone project Malartic, on their website, with plenty of their past press releases as well. So that's a wrap on our chat regarding in the news companies. Before closing, we'd like to stress that this show and our reports are for information purposes only. We aren't making buying or selling recommendations. It's important for you to do your own research and speak with your financial advisors before making any investment decisions. We're always trying to grow our audience, and any efforts you make to let your friends that follow the markets know about our reports, our website, and our shows would be greatly appreciated. We also greatly appreciate you taking the time to watch these shows. We know that everybody's very busy these days, and we strive to produce a show that saves you time and, most importantly, brings you helpful, high-quality information. The next show we're going to have, our next show will be next week. And we'll be doing another In the News segment with the opening of the commentary. This is the new way we've been doing things for the last 4 or 5 shows. Really like starting out with some opening commentary that affects the industry in general, and then get into talking about some resource companies. So we'll be following that format in our next show. If you want to find out about any of the work we do, the best thing to do is to subscribe to our reports. You look above me on the website, you'll see that subscribe section. There's no charge to be on our email list, and so we invite you to fill that out and sign up. The reason we won't be doing a show tomorrow, as I mentioned earlier and on yesterday's show, is tomorrow I'm scheduled to do a television interview on Business News Network, BNN, and I'll be sending out the details to all of our email subscribers. So there again is another reason to join our email list. We hope you can join us for future shows. You can find all of our work on our website at allenberryreports.com. We hope to see you soon, and have a great day.